Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve our Skillrack daily challenge using Python programming language. Before going to logic, if you didn't subscribe to our channel, then subscribe right now and make our work more meaningful. First, we'll understand our question. The program has to accept the integer n and x as the input and form a series with n terms and print the nth term as output. So the first term will be always 2, and if the first term is greater than x means, then we are going to decrement by x, and the second term will be always the product of the previous term and the 4, and if it is greater than x, then we are going to decrement it by x. So similarly, so here it is second term, and so we'll decrement by x, and for the third term will be the product of the previous term and 6, and if the third term is greater than x means, then we're going to decrement it by x. And similarly, the n terms are formed using this pattern. So first we are going to accept the integer n and x and form a series with n terms and print the nth term as output. The first term will be always 2, and if the first term is greater than x, then we are going to decrement it by x. And the second term will be the product of the previous term and 4, and if the second term is greater than x, then we are going to decrement by x. And the third term will be the product of the previous term and 6, and if the third term is greater than x, then we are going to decrement by x. And similarly, n terms are formed using this pattern. So we'll take our first test case. So in this test case, we have n to be 4 and x is 40. So the first term will be always 2. So we'll write it. The first term is 2, and since it is less than 40, so we'll not change it. Then in the second term, we should multiply the previous term and 4. So 2 into 4, which is 8. So 8 is also lesser than 40. So no changes. Then in third term, it is the product of the previous term and 6, and 8 into 6 is 48. So 48 is greater than 40. So we have to decrement 48 by x. So 48 minus 40, which is 8, and the fourth term will be 8 into 8, which is 64. So 64 is greater than 40. So we must decrement 64 by 40, which gives 24. And so here it is 48 minus 40 is 8. So now we have got the fourth term and our n is also 4. So we'll stop here and print 24 as our output. Now we'll take our another test case where n is 5 and x is 48. So here the first term will be 2, it remains the same, and from the second term will be 2 into 4, which is 8. So 8 is lesser than 48, so it will remain the same. Then we have 8 into 6, which is 48. So here it's not greater, so it remains as it is. And for the next term we have 48, that is 48 into 8, which is 384. So here it is greater. So 384 minus 48 is 336. And for the fifth term we have 336 into 10, which is 3360, which is greater than 48. So we'll decrement by x, that is 48, which gives 3312, and this will be our output. Now let us implement our program. First we'll get the n and x. And then we'll have a variable called as the previous term as 1. And to get the product of the previous term and CTR. And for CTR in range 1 comma n plus 1, we have the previous term as the previous term into 2 into CTR. So let's see how this works. So if the previous term is 1, then for the first iteration 1 into 2 into CTR is 1, so it is 2. And for the second iteration the previous term becomes 2 into CTR is 2, so it is 8. And for the third iteration, 8 is the previous term, so 8 into 2 into 3, which is 48. So this is how it works. And if the previous term is greater than x, then we are going to print, before that we have to decrement the previous term by x and we'll print the previous term. Now we'll pass our first test case. Yes, we have got the correct output. Now we'll pass our another test case. Here also we have got the correct output.
Our program has passed all our given test cases successfully. Hope you guys understand. Thanks for watching. See you next video.